go, 5 lights, and away we go. Edge on pole position. Off they go, and I see he's got a decent start there. Edge got a very good one. He's clear into turn 1. Into 3rd place by the looks of it goes Silver.
Oh, and there's a car off! It stopped Thomas into the wall. He lost a bit of his front wing.
There's all sorts of fun and games going on into the fast chicane there. Rev, oh, and Ocean Chief get together, and off goes Ocean into the wall. So Edge,
He's getting into the nose.
about a half a second ahead of Sergio. Sergio's running a little bit wide, hitting the wall on the inside. That was a big impact. I'm not sure whether it got any of the front wing. It looked like he might have been alright. Very close now. Copy having to go to the outside of Bants as they run through turn 8 absolutely side by side. And I think he might just have this or side by side on the exit. They're going to be side by side, I think, all the way up towards the far chicane. Who's going to blink here? Bants on the outside, Copy on the inside. Bants. It is EGL, and we are back once again on Sunday afternoon this time for the 2SRL race. Hopefully this is going to work when I make this app full screen, and we will get a picture. Are we getting a picture? We're not getting a... Why are we not getting a picture? Oh, because I didn't have game capture on. That might be why. I'm Tara, I'm a professional broadcaster and never get anything wrong. And alongside me is Thimo once again. How's it going, Thimo?
I'm already feeling the lag.
Oh, that
Also,
did
I'm
work.
a pro broadcaster as well, of course. I know my technicalities, and I was definitely prepared for this stream.
So, it's 2SRL today. We've already had one race here, of course. We've already had we have the bug on Jesse, unfortunately, so we can't watch Jesse as Triton, I think, just got out of the way of a bunch of drivers there. But yeah, 2SRL today. We had SLR yesterday, and once again, well, we have a dry qualifying session, but it's pretty gloomy here in Hockenheim.
According to Ocean, we will stay dry for the race and the quali.
Okay, well that's good news. We have a bunch of different people on a bunch of different tyres. We've got a few people trying the medium tyre for the first qualifying run. I guess they will want to start on softs. We've got a few people on ultra softs as well, including this man here, Bants, who didn't really get the hairpin right that time. And Stinger as well. We've got Wimpy on ultra softs, Jesse and Ocean Chief also on ultra. So most of the people who we expect to be at the front of the grid not deciding to go for the ultra soft, and I guess that's not really much of a surprise. We kind of expect the one stop to be the strategy today. As Danico, I think, left the session, so I guess he's disconnected.
I mean, his internet is kind of infamous for not working quite as intended.
Yeah, seems to be back. So hopefully he's managed to iron those issues out early on. We've got 15 minutes to go in this qualifying session, so plenty of time to put in laps for these drivers. And in pole position right now, which is not something you say very often, is the Mercedes of Miloš Martika, who puts in... Oh, never mind. King Buzzo jumps him, and Jesse goes pole on a 12.4, which is a pretty reasonable lap, I guess, on ultras.
But on ultra softs, while I think King Buzzo on mediums, so...
Yeah, absolutely. So King Buzzo certainly with a very fast lap, and there is the first properly fast lap of this session. Atrocity with a 1 minute 10.7, and that is on the ultra soft tyre. So that might be... Well, I mean, he's not going to be able to beat that, is he, on a soft compound? I wouldn't have thought. So Atrocity might be starting this race on the ultra soft tyre, which is going to be interesting. Might be that he decides to go for either a 2-stop or for a 1-stop ultra soft onto mediums.
Really good lap already. Do you remember how the lap times yesterday were? Like yesterday, I think it was.
Well,
something.
It was intermediate conditions in qualifying.
I just remembered.
The fastest race lap, I think, was a 1 minute 14, but that was a race lap on old medium tyres from Astro Boys at the end of the race. So not really comparable. Here is Triton on his medium run. Going through the Sachs curve now, the left-hander at the end of the lap.
Yeah, I'm getting the epic legs again. By the way, there's some broken front wing on pit entry. I do not know who decided to reduce the weight of his car in that way, but I doubt it was too effective. No effective pun.
Yeah, it's not recommended that you... is it pit entry or pit exit?
Effective pun. Pit entry, so no harm done.
Okay, yeah, so just as he went into the pits, but Tipsy dives out of the way of the passing car. Not sure who that was. Jeremy getting a little bit wrong on in the left-hander, the Mercedes corner, turn 8. And then into the stadium section he goes. And pretty good lap from Ocean Chief, putting it P2 in that Red Bull, again on ultra soft tyres.
Wimpy has kind of died on on the second straight. He's still recovering. Oh no, he's taking out the brake marker boards. What is he doing? Wimpy.
Oh dear. So Wimpy getting it wrong, I guess, under braking.
Nah, he was spun in the middle of the corner, and then by trying to redirect his car, he spun again across track onto the other side, and while recovering, it just drove through the 100-meter board.
Yeah, he's deciding, I don't know what, I guess he's staying out of people's way. I guess that's what he's doing, just driving off the track. But yeah, manages to successfully stay out of everyone's way by the looks of it. Who's on a fast one here? Slash LP's not on a fast one. Ocean Chief is still on a fast one, so we'll see. Nope, Ocean Chief isn't on a fast one. He's got a Mercedes behind him.
Yeah. I must say, after yesterday, it's kind of...
Oh, rip Thimo.
Rough track. It's,
Bants goes second on a 1 minute 12.0 on the ultra soft tyre.
Oh,
yeah, cool. You were saying something, I'm sure, but you lagged out, unfortunately. So that's unfortunate. We will do our best to work around Thimo's connection issues.
Someone got a really good drill. Oh damn it.
So just looking at these lap times, Atrocity at the moment is 1.3 seconds ahead of everyone, including that Bants who... And it's always difficult to tell because you're never quite sure whether the people on the ultra soft tyre are actually trying to put a fast lap in, or whether they're just sort of killing time until they can go out on the tyre that they really want to qualify on, which will be the soft tyre. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
What I was about to say, by the way, was that after yesterday, I know that it's more confusing if a car gets out of your way by driving off track than anything.
Yep, for those of you who missed it, Thimo and I showed that we are the two best Assetto Corsa F1 drivers that 2SRL has to offer yesterday. It was it was a lot of fun. The Assetto Corsa race that we did yesterday evening. It's on the EGL channel. If you missed it.
I love how you just stated that, like, it's a proven fact.
Yep.
That cannot change.
Well, I mean, we had a race, you know. It's that's what races do, right? They show who the fastest drivers are, and it turns out we're the fastest drivers, so, you know. It's,
I wonder who is currently listening and thinking, oh, I'm going to smack them in Spain. That's a bit arrogance is needed for this.
Yeah, flex. Absolutely right, Ocean Chief. We flexed. Ocean Chief's and yeah, Bagos did in fact bottle it. He did not clutch on lap 4 or whenever it was that he went into the wall.
5, yeah, Bagos.
So yeah, 9 minutes of this qualifying session to go, and it's a little bit of a shame. And this is one of the situations where you kind of wish that in F1 2018 you got free tyre choice instead of just getting the presets, because you could take like 2 or 3 different sets for different sets of soft tyres for qualifying.
Yes.
And just run on those instead. But instead, you only really get one run if you want to do the lap on the soft tyre. So it's almost one-shot qualifying with 15 minutes of just waiting around beforehand. We do have some people that are trying to go fast though. One of them is Jesse on the ultra soft tyre in the Haas. He's got a car ahead of him. Shouldn't get in his way too badly. Jeremy dives out of the way. It's Danico who's ahead. Danico is on the medium tyre. I think he's doing race laps.
Who, Danico?
Danico, yeah. So he's pulling into the pit lane, and yeah, he might have affected Jesse just a little bit there. Jesse about to cross the line, and he puts in a pretty good lap. Goes P3, 1 minute 11.7 from Jesse. So that's good stuff from him. And yeah, Astro Boys, winner of yesterday's race. Why would you qualify on Ultra Softs? Yeah, it's not as fast. It's definitely not as fast to do either a two-stop or to try and stretch the mediums.
Certainly, yes.
Because the Ultra Soft fall off after, I think it's only like 4 or 5 laps, isn't it? It's not very long at all before you have to pit on the Ultra Softs if you've already done qualifying on them.
They absolutely disintegrate, yeah.
Yeah. So Bants is he on? He's on softs now. So this is, I guess, going to be his real qualifying effort. And he's going to probably do this lap and then make a decision as to whether he wants to go out on the Ultra Softs. It probably is worth going on the Ultra Softs if you completely screw your lap up and you end up starting at the back of the grid. Then it might well be worth it to start on the Ultras, just so you're out of the chaos. And of course you'll lose several seconds just getting through everyone at the back of the grid.
I wonder if Atrocity is going to improve on his time. No, probably not. He's on softs right now, and I kinda doubt he will be able to pull that off.
Yeah, I doubt it as well. So it might be that Atrocity starts this race on ultra soft tyres. He did his best time on those ultra softs. King Buzzo goes second, by the way, on a 1 minute 11.1 on the ultra soft tyre. So Bants pitting.
He just put it in after taking out the soft tyre, so they will have some wear on them, and even if he is going to do a lap on them, that will compromise him. I do not know what he was thinking there.
Yep, I don't know either. Jeremy, who is the 5th best Assetto Corsa F1 driver in 2SRL, telling us that he'll clap both of us in Spain. So that's fighting words coming from the 5th best driver.
Probably going to get fired. What? Jeremy is driving. He's currently put in a 1:12.9, and I mean, I think he can put soft tires if he Oh, yeah, I noticed. He can probably do better if he goes all out on softs or mediums. So
yeah,
I mean,
would have thought so.
Even in the case, he's in P10 currently, so might also well be knocked out of the top 10. He will probably be if it stays like that, because he's still got, for example, Yugos or Triton or the sorts behind him.
There's Atrocity on his fast lap, trying to go faster on those soft tyres. Through the second sector now, runs very wide there on the exit of the right-hander. Just trying a little bit too hard there, Atrocity. Gets the power down nicely though on the exit of the Sachs curve. Is he going to manage to improve his lap time? Nope, he's going to go into the pits instead. So that's one way to enter the pits. He just about manages to save that slide. It's a truly multinational experience in the 2SRL chat, in the EGL chat. You get welcome to the channel in many languages.
Yeah, so I finally figured it out because I asked Trevor.
I put the whole thing into Google Translate, and it managed to work it out. So
that's good. Ich nicht sprechen Deutsch, oh wait. well enough.
So Tipsy on a fast one at the moment. He's on ultra soft tyres. Did he do his...
Noel retired?
Noel retired from 15th, so maybe he doesn't want to start on a different tyre, I don't know. Or maybe he put it in the wall somewhere we didn't see. Tipsy. Ooh, Tipsy having to wait to get on the power on the exit of that right-hander, unfortunately
Hold
for
up!
him.
What the hell? The Ferrari has got no. What the? There's a Ferrari. Oh, okay.
What?
I just saw a Ferrari waiting in the pits and the mechanics assembling around the Ferrari, and suddenly its front left tire popped off. And the Ferrari
Okay, well
disappeared.
that's one way to end your session.
Cool.
Noel obviously retiring from the session, I guess through no fault of his own, if that was the case. Triton has done a 1 minute 11.1 as well. He's on the ultra soft, so a few cars deciding that they're going to go, and a few. Oh, Triton, you can't stop there. You're going to get disqualified if you do that. Oh,
3,
no.
2, 1.
You've got to drive around. So Tipsy was on a fast one. He's still on a fast one. We'll ride along with Tipsy for the end of this lap, see what he can do. Up front we have 3 drivers who I don't think will be able to beat their laps on soft tyres, so they'll I think be starting on the ultra softs. Atrocity, King Buzzo and Triton. Stinger and Jesse also putting in reasonably good lap times, but also on the ultra soft tyres. And then we have the soft runners, so Bants is the lead soft runner so far with the 1 minute 12.0.
Did he set his best lap? Oh wait, I've got fitted.
Yeah.
No,
oh no. Yeah. No. In fact, you're right. They did both set their laps on ultras as well. So I guess Bants is waiting to go out and going to try and beat that, as Tipsy unfortunately only manages to improve by a 1/10 of a second. Triton retires from the session. I guess he wasn't able to turn his car around in time.
Oof. King Buzzer going off track in a really interesting way there. Atrocity's lap times.
Yep, it's pretty good. 10.7 on the ultra soft tyre, and he's on a fast one at the moment. Bants retires from P6, so he's not able to improve on the soft tyre. He will be starting on ultra soft, and that's not a very good situation for Bants, honestly. Like, not towards the top of the standings, and he's going to be starting on the qualifying tyre as well. As you watch Atrocity come through to complete his lap, he's going to try and improve on his 1 minute 10.7. We are getting towards the very end of the session now. It's Nick in front of us in the Ferrari. He has yet to set a time that is going to trouble the standings. Atrocity does manage to improve just by a 1/10 of a second or thereabouts, and he slows right down. He has Nick in front of him, so he probably won't be able to improve on that one any further. He's also going to be able to do a slow in lap to save his tyres. Oh, and yeah, there was a tyre on the exit of the on the outside of the Parabolica, so I wonder if something happened there. There was some sort of a visual glitch, I would have thought.
Okay.
But somebody lost a tyre, I suspect. It was
I think
Noel.
the only driver who retired, the only driver who retired, not because of the time of the session, the progressed state of the session, was Noel. So
yeah, absolutely. So time is now up. We got several cars crossing the line. Jesse improved further. He's done a 1 minute 11.3. That's a good lap from him. He's going to be starting towards the sharp end of the grid. And Nick now, aka Jack, coming through to complete his lap on the soft tyre. Runs a bit wide there. Hope he didn't invalidate his lap with that. He's going to cross the line. He didn't invalidate, but he only goes 12th fastest on the soft tyre. So we see there is a real struggle for a lot of drivers, and Hugos is going to be starting right at the back. He didn't manage to get a lap in at all on the softs, unfortunately for him. So there is a real split between the front of the grid on ultra softs and the back of the grid on softs here. We've got Atrocity, King Buzzo, Triton, Jesse, Stinger, Cursed, Bat. In fact, all of the top 8 are on ultra soft tyres. Everybody else on a variety of tyres, but everyone who is on softs is further down the grid. And the issue for the ultra soft runners is they're probably going to have to stop twice, but it might be that in amongst the mayhem, Slash LP is the leading soft runner, and he's only in 9th, and I just wonder if you're Ocean Chief, or if you're Nick, or even if you're Jeremy or Danico, you're going to be rubbing your hands together at this, because you are on the better strategy, and there's a bunch of cars up ahead, all on Ultrasofts, who are all going to be fighting and squabbling and maybe holding each other up. And you might just be in a really good position where you are on the grid on those soft tyres.
Yeah, I really wonder if they're going to be able to do anything about Atrocity and the others up front, because the strategy of course gives you a time advantage, so you don't have to drive as fast, but on the other hand they are down in like P10, 11, P9, P11, 12, and down the order, so maybe they get held up and they lose time through that, with that, or some...
Yep, or something else. With I assume what
God.
Thimo was about to say there before he unceremoniously disappeared from the airwaves. So
I think John from Tennessee called my ISP or something. They cut me off the airwaves, damn it.
So, tyre choice is interesting. Ocean Chief and Danico going on the mediums. Everyone else outside of the top 10 going on the soft tyre. So, yep, I think if I'm Nick right now, or if I'm Jeremy, I'm going to be thinking that there might be something in this for me, because you do have that tyre advantage. It's not going to be easy, of course. Atrocity, King Buzzo, Triton, and a few of the others maybe up front are going to be able to make a break. But they have a lot to do to make enough of a break to make up for an extra pit stop. So we'll see how this turns out in this race.
I think the start will be especially interesting with the likes of... Oh, Jesse and Stinger disqualified. With the likes of Nick and Hugos, Noel, kinda getting swamped in qualifying there. So they are far down the order, and they will look to do good starts. Maybe something unexpected might happen to them. I'm not trying to summon it or anything. I also don't wish bad luck upon them, but it's a possibility, and turn 1 is pretty infamous for that. I mean, yesterday...
Yeah, yesterday we...
I think it was Danik.
Yeah, Danico... yeah, what happened... yeah, I don't... yeah, we had some incident at the start in turn 1, didn't we? Danico got turned around, I think. Which
I think it was caused by his lag initially.
Yeah.
Everything went downhill from there. So I'm going to keep an eye on the start of our championship front-runners.
Yep, Hugo's, who's almost dead last. Velmeneka, I guess, didn't do any lap time at all in qualifying. 5 lights, and away we go. A jump start penalty for Gusticles, unfortunately for him. But a pretty good start. Who's that in the Mercedes on the inside? That was Cursed, I think, with an excellent start. Otherwise, Atrocity got a superb one.
No!
And further towards the back of the grid. Looks like everybody got through cleanly, and a little bit of a squeeze from Effective, I think, on Stinger there on the outside going into turn number 2. And Nick might have hit the back of the car that was directly ahead of him. I didn't see... Yeah, Tipsy. I didn't see if there was any damage or not, but it looks like a reasonable start for a few drivers. Bants got a very good one. Curse got a very good one initially, but then he fell back. Wimpy, unfortunately, has left the session.
Oh, Cursed. Bad traction problems out of the hairpin, and Noel.
Yeah, that's going to be taken off, I would have thought, as Bant's going up the inside of Jesse into the Mercedes corner. So he gets the move down into 4th place. So he is making headway on those ultra soft tyres, making a good job. And somebody flying off in the background. Who was that? Was that Stinger? I think it was Stinger who went off in the Toro Rosso. Yeah, yes, and there's another car off as well. And Cursed.
Rip Bilosh.
So I guess those two came together.
Yes, and absolutely, yeah. Bilosh is absolutely struck there. Oh, and Stinger goes off track there again.
Oh dear.
Cursed front wing is absolutely, destroyed.
Yep, so Cursed not going to be featuring in this race by the looks of things, unless something like a safety car happens. But the situation up front is that there is a pretty significant gap from Atrocity, and we're going to look at him in a second. There he is. He is by himself right now. Nobody within 2 seconds of him. A few cars coming in a little bit further behind. We got King Buzzo, we got Triton, we got Bants there as well. And then a gap behind Jesse to Effective, who is in 6th place in the Renault. Then Slash LP, Nick, Jeremy all on soft tyres, and then Tipsy rounding out the top 10 at the moment. Stinger unfortunately has DNF'd. He will not be scoring any points in this one. Meanwhile, Jesse looks like he's reasonably fast. He's right on the back of Bants. Not necessarily expecting to see that. So good stuff from Jesse. I don't know whether Bants has made some mistakes or something. He's fallen off the back of Triton just a little bit. Meanwhile, Effective is, I think, struggling on those ultra soft tyres. He's got a queue of cars behind him, most of which are on the soft tyres. Triton with a penalty on lap 3, which is very early.
Oh, by the way, something I forgot to mention. Yugos is using the wheel for the first time. I know he uses it in Assetto Corsa, but in F1 he's still a pad boy. So... Oh! Off goes
Was that Jesse? Oh no, what happened to Jesse? So he spun, I guess.
Probably on traction.
On traction, yeah, I would have thought so. So that was a really good run from Jesse, and unfortunately it comes to an end. The Slash LP having a look up the inside of Effective. Effective brake very late, maybe too late.
And he goes really wide, but he carries a lot of momentum that way. Slash LP considerably close. Maybe something done in the Mercedes corner. He's got the out.
Yep, got the outside line, trying to go around the outside, and if he does get that move done with the inside of the right-hander there, and Nick saying thank you very much. Those two coming together, and Nick takes 2 positions for the price of 1, and also Jeremy as well putting his nose in there, still side by side around the Sachs curve now. Jeremy and Slash LP. Slash LP with the inside line. Jeremy gets compromised, gets hit by Tipsy. Tipsy doesn't get in front though, didn't force his way through there, which I think was for the best, as the first pit stop we see.
No, Slash LP, is that me or
no? Slash LP in the wall. What happened to him? We didn't see that. We had the camera away just at the wrong moment, unfortunately, but Slash LP with the 10-second penalty will be taken off. But
that is a joke.
But something happened to Slash. I didn't see whether it was contact or whether it was a mistake from Slash.
Early pit stop.
Yep. We saw Slash. We saw Bants coming into the pits to change onto the soft tyres. So end of lap 3. That is extremely early to be making a pit stop. He's going to make very short work of the Red Bull in front of him.
Oh wow.
As Danico gets down the inside of Effective in the hairpin. And TipsyBob still right on the back of Jeremy, but I think TipsyBob's tyres are going to start to go very soon.
In the chat, in the meantime, Wimpy mentioning that everyone broke pretty early. He's disconnected.
Oh, who was that? Was that Tipsy spinning? Was that Tipsy spinning? It was Tipsy spinning in Sachs curve. I just saw it on screen as I tried to flick to somebody else. But yeah, he spun in the middle of Sachs curve. So Tipsy really struggling on those ultra soft. We saw that he was. And he is going to have to stay out of the way of everyone while he limps back to the pits. Couple of drivers pitting. And yeah, you mentioned about Wimpy. And yeah, like lap 1, everyone going to be braking quite early into the first couple of corners. I guess Wimpy just got caught out by that, unfortunately for him. So that's the end of his race, and sideways Atrocity on those cold tyres. He's got Hugo's right behind him.
What the?
As Hugo's goes down the inside, what are you seeing?
Oh god. So first of all, Tipsy did a Hamilton in cosplay, just drove on straight, and then in the pits, suddenly Slash LP went the wrong way.
Oh, was Effective having to... Slash LP went the wrong way in the pits. Interesting.
Cool.
So, what happened in all of that was that Effective managed to get himself 2 positions on those ultra soft tyres, because Hugo's, while he was trying to get Atrocity, ran out wide and found himself compromised. So and another penalty for Triton. So 6 seconds now for Triton. Those are going to add up very quickly if he lets them. Meanwhile, at the front, King Buzzo, 8 seconds ahead of Nick, and just over a second ahead of Jeremy now in third place. And these soft tyres are going to be good for a bit longer, I think. Effective pits on the Ultras, so he lasted to the end of lap 5. King Buzzo taking them a 6th lap, which is impressive. And a new front wing as well for Effective, for reasons I think that we saw in the last couple of laps. Bants now right on the back of Triton. Triton might just about have warmed his tyres up by this point, but he's still got a McLaren all over the back of him. I think Bants is going to take that position pretty easily heading into the hairpin.
Has anyone of the top guys except Triton a penalty?
I've not seen any, no. Not of the front runners, so everyone at the moment keeping their nose clean. King Buzzo, Jeremy gets himself a penalty. That's the first one of the other drivers to get one, as King Buzzo goes into the pits and hits the wall in the pit. I think he got away with it, but he gets a penalty for speeding, so that could be a big deal. Didn't manage to get slowed down in time. Meanwhile, did Nick make a mistake there? I think he must have, because Jeremy has now taken the lead of the race. But the person who's in a really good position here, as Danico now right on the back of Nick. Has something happened to... Oh no, that's Atrocity, excuse me, that's Atrocity. So yeah, the person who's in a really good position here is Atrocity, because he is on the fresher tyres and he's at the front now, so he's already stopped and he's managed to get himself to the front of this little pack, which means, I think, that he is very soon going to be in the effective lead of this race when he passes Jeremy, which I think will be in the not too distant future. Nick did manage to get DRS and pass him again.
King Buzzo has passed Hugos in the meantime. Yeah. Yeah, he came out of the pits barely behind Hugos and is now ahead. Hugos still holding his own against Bants.
Atrocity really struggling to pass Nick though. Nick keeping his car in the right place.
Hugos went off track and lost the positions to Triton, and Bants, you could tell he's struggling to keep his act together on the wheel.
Have to console himself with the fact that he's the third best Assetto Corsa driver in 2SR. Atrocity right behind Nick now. Heading into the first corner, and he will have DRS for this straight. He won't necessarily want to pass in this straight. Yeah, you can see he's got his hybrid off. He turns it up before this corner to get the best possible launch out.
Maybe Hugos should name himself from Hugos.
Oh, that was going to be such a good joke, and then Thimo disconnected. Rip Thimo.
Oh no, I was about to pull off the best joke of my commentator's career, and Telecom took it away from me. Well, I'm insulted. I'm sulking.
Thimo. Effective with a 3-second penalty. Atrocity has passed Nick finally, I think, this time, and he's right on the back now of Jeremy as well. So this battle for 5th at the moment. King Buzzo, I think, will be trying to pull away from both Bants and Triton.
And Atrocity still struggling to get past Jeremy. Jeremy doesn't look interested in giving his teammate any favors.
Nope, I wouldn't have thought so. Jeremy on the older tyres, but he won't be wanting to pit yet, so anything he can do against Atrocity here might help him in the longer run. I think Atrocity's just going to be patient, save his hybrid, and just wait for the back straight. I think that's the smart thing to do in this situation. I think Atrocity is doing exactly that. So yeah, he turns his hybrid up so he gets the best launch out of this corner here, as Triton gets himself 3 more seconds.
He gets 1 warning per lap.
Yep, so 9 seconds in 9 laps is an awful lot. Meanwhile, Atrocity is going to take the lead of this race on track, so he now leads, and he has the best tyres of everyone up front as well, so he is in an extremely good position to maybe take maximum points from this one.
Nick, lots of lockups there, and Nick is slowly coming up behind Jeremy, and will try to get him closer to dropping off the podium positions.
Yep, absolutely. So We can see there the gap between Jeremy and Nick. Nick seemingly content to stay behind for the time being. He'll know that there's a long race to go yet. Won't want to hold both of them up unnecessarily. Well, there is a battle. Atrocity gets 3 seconds, so that's the first real mistake from our race leader, but he is pulling away from both Jeremy and Nick very quickly. The gap now nearly 2 seconds.
Gusticles out of Noel now. Well, Gusticles took a drive through for the jump start, right?
Yeah, he must have done, yeah. So he's recovering from that.
Actually, good position considering that.
Yep, pretty good. Yep, he didn't lose too much time because, yeah, he didn't. I guess he didn't get caught in the traffic.
Atrocity? Is that actually another penalty, or everything's lagging for me?
I didn't see another penalty. I wasn't
Yeah, the
particularly
intervals
looking.
are telling me that everyone is just passing everyone.
Okay, yeah,
Cool.
that's not what's happening, unfortunately. Oh, Nick has passed Jeremy as well, so didn't see where that happened. I guess that was down the into the hairpin.
No
Must
passes
have been.
Gusticles down
Yep.
the around the outside basically of Parabolica. Oh, outbreaks himself. Maybe Gusticles able to strike back. No, he did exactly the same.
Looks like he's all right. So Nick and Jeremy now, I guess, just waiting until their pit stop. I guess their pit stop will be about 5 laps time. I would have thought on those soft tyres. You want to run them maybe until 14th or 15th or thereabout, 14th or 15th lap or thereabouts. And yeah, Jeremy in a pretty good position. He's even after his pit stop, I think he'll be solidly in the top 10 certainly. And then of course he'll have the fresh tyres compared to those who have done 2 stops.
Has King Buzzer actually got a penalty now? I think it's his. Or is it
If that was the one that popped up a minute ago, then yeah, I saw that too.
Cool. Yeah, it was that one. I just looked it up.
Okay, so Bants now down the inside of Danico, manages to get the braking done. That's nicely done from Bants. Although he did run a little bit wide, might be vulnerable on the exit, but no, he's got the momentum heading into the Mercedes corner. So this covers the inside there, Bants. Make sure there's no way Danico can take that position again. As we see a battle now for 9th. Noel, I guess, is being caught by Gusticles, Ocean Chief and Jesse. Jesse recovering from that incident early in the race, of course. Ocean Chief getting pretty close to the back of Gusticles under braking. Didn't seem like he was panicking about it too much, but managing to get away with it. Kirst gets himself 3 seconds. Kirst is not having a good race, unfortunately for him. He had that lap 1 incident with Stinger, and then that was effectively the end of his challenge in this one.
Jesse a lot better on warnings and penalties than yesterday. I think yesterday he finished with 21 seconds on his finish time. He's only got 1 penalty so far.
Yep, absolutely. He's doing a much better job. Gusticles gets himself 3 seconds as well. Running wide in turn 1, I think, there. As he's going to have a look now at the inside of Noel. As they come through the Parabolica, he will have DRS. The only person not to have DRS will be Noel. Ooh, a little bit of contact there, and yeah, a lot of contact. Didn't see exactly what happened there, but 3 wide and getting pushed off track is Gusticles. This is all sorts of chaos here.
He's now seeing 3 wide. Oh no, Gusticles outbreaks himself, and Jesse
takes 3 in 1. Thank you very much. There's Jesse, and off the track in the background goes Noel, and into the wall. And then he, don't reverse on track. Don't do that. There you go. Yeah. Now you can. Very sensible from Noel. Manages to.
Oops. Cool.
Jeremy pits from what was 3rd position, and he will be the first of the soft runners from the start of the race to go into the pit lane. Out he goes, and he's going to be, I think, 8th, because he's well ahead of Jesse. There's a huge gap between Jeremy and Jesse, who's just coming across the start-finish line now. But Jeremy slotting in there very nicely. He's going to have tyres that are good now until the end of the race. But Atrocity stretching his legs a little bit further. He's got 3 seconds. But it's only 3 seconds of penalties to overcome. And he's 6 seconds just over ahead of Nick in second place now. Nick looking good for a good result here. He's going to be pitting quite soon, I would have thought. And King Buzzo a couple of seconds behind. King Buzzo will fancy his chances of maybe getting that position from Nick in the Ferrari. Danico struggling to hang on to the back of Bants on those old medium tyres. Does still have DRS though, so a little bit of an advantage there. And he will have good tyres, of course, for the second half of the race. He'll be able to put the soft tyres on. So I think Bants made a mistake there in turn 1. And that Danico closed right up. So not a whole lot of action on track right now. It's all sort of...
Yes.
We're all just sort of waiting for pit stops.
Yeah, the only action I get to see regularly is the cars crashing when I disconnect again twice every lap, so that's cool.
Effective with 3 seconds there, which I think is that his first or is that his second? I don't remember. In any case, he's going to be struggling to score points, I think, here today. Danico, you can see, still trying his hardest, and maybe he's just about getting the better of the tyre situation now over Bants, who will be starting to feel those soft tyres just a little bit. Danico on the more durable mediums. Nick pitting from P2. So he slowed right down for the pit lane, making sure he didn't get a speeding penalty there. Of course, King Buzzo has a speeding penalty.
Yeah, unfortunate. Jesse, another penalty, I think number 2.
Yep, so Jesse doing much better than yesterday on penalties, but still getting a couple. And Nick is behind Hugo's on track.
Triton has stopped getting so many penalties. He has only picked up a warning.
Well, that is good. He's still on 9 seconds as Noel, unfortunately for him, leaves the session, so he is out of the race. He's greyed out as well, so I think he retired. Maybe he crashed somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, he, after his crash with Effective, where he got wiped out in the hairpin, he retired. He pressed the retire button.
Okay. So Noel, unfortunately, out of the race, doing his best still to...
lock up from Wimpy.
Doing his best to
cursed.
Work out how to drive without assists, and doing a better job than he did last week at Silverstone. That is for sure.
Ouch. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he was. Now that you mention it, I absolutely forgot about that. He was competitive. He was in the running, and he didn't die. And I think last time he was like 1 or 2 laps down.
Yeah, and I think he finished 3 laps down in Silverstone. He was really struggling in that race. As Bants again makes a mistake, but unfortunately for him, unfortunately for Danico rather, Danico lags at the crucial moment, and doesn't manage to get that move done. I think he would have been passed otherwise into turn 2, so he's going to have to wait at least another lap or so. He's so much faster though.
Also, another thing we haven't mentioned about Noel's progress with no assists driving and Formula 1 sim driving. He's the 8th best 2SRL F1
that is true.
Corsa driver.
Yep, that is true. He was only
going to get killed for this,
8
right?
laps down. 8 laps down.
Yeah, 8
at the
laps.
end of that race. But yeah, that does mean that he's the 8th best Assetto Corsa driver, as Hugo's and Nick have to pass the ghost of, I guess that's Wimpy.
Oh no, Triton! Just as
Triton.
I praised him. We're really assholes about this, aren't we?
It's okay. It's there's a long Assetto Corsa season to go. I'm sure that.
Of course, you think it's okay. You got to laugh in the end.
Hey.
I had to spill tears because of the man who's currently running in 9th. Only because of that.
Yeah.
Of course.
It would have been a good fight at the end. It's a shame that was what happened, because it was a really fun race, honestly. I had a really good time. And we're going to do it all again in 2 weeks' time.
I think the best moment was when Jesse and Noel mounted each other in front of our eyes. Oh, and Danico and Bants, by the way, just had a moment. Wasn't Bants past Danico for a long time?
Yeah, he's been running ahead of him for most of the race, and Danico, I think now with the tyre advantage, because Bants is on the softs, Danico on the medium, so Danico with I think slightly more pace now, and he's been looking as /LP retires. Don't immediately see why that was, and leaves the session unfortunately, so no points for /LP. Meanwhile, Hugo's, we still have some people on the soft tyres yet to pit. Hugo's is the most meaningful of them. He will be pitting probably within the next couple of laps. Up front though, the situation is that the two stoppers at the moment are in a very good position. They all of course have to stop again, but Atrocity and King Buzzo look like they are clear enough of the only car on track behind them that doesn't have to stop again. That's Nick. I don't think King Buzzo quite gets out ahead of Nick, but Atrocity certainly does, and King Buzzo will only just be behind Nick and on the faster tyres as well. So the situation is that the two stoppers who qualified right at the front are in a very good position to win this race at the moment.
Yeah, strategy has certainly paid off for the ones who got through the field.
Yeah, it did.
But Atrocity and King Buzzo are doing what they did in qualifying, basically being faster than the rest.
Yep, absolutely. The pace is very impressive, and they made a break at the start as well, which they needed to. Hugo's is really struggling on his tyres right now. He just got passed by Jeremy and is already a second and a half behind him. I imagine he will pit this lap.
According to reliable sources, it might start raining, and because
Okay, it's going to start raining by the sounds of it, which is very interesting.
Yeah, Jeff, apparently, Ocean Chief was in the pits, and I think he messaged me and said it is going to rain.
He's also put Ultra Softs on with 15 laps to go, so he's banking on it raining very soon.
Oh, Jeff is going to let him down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be soon enough, because the Ultras only last 7-8 laps. I guess in the worst case he can do 2 stints of Ultras, but that's not very fast.
Yeah, it really isn't.
Gusticle's pits. Kirst has decided to do the same thing. Kirst is unfortunately not really in this race anymore. A long way behind. So just trying to work out, and I'm going to switch the gaps to the leader, because I think that is the more important thing at the moment. So Atrocity, if he pits now, he comes out second, and he comes out well ahead of Nick. He comes out 10 seconds ahead of Nick. Atrocity, barring anything ridiculous happening, is almost certainly going to win this race in the Sauber. And
probably,
by a long way. He's very, very far ahead.
Oh, I see the droplets.
Okay, so it's starting to rain. Yep, thank you, Noel. It is starting to rain. We can see now as Tipsy gets himself 3 seconds. So it might be that the guys who are gambling on tyres might just get a little bit of an advantage here. It'll be really interesting to see what the front runners do. And maybe that was why Atrocity and those other guys at the front decided to 2-stop instead of 1-stop. Maybe they figured that this was going to happen, as Jesse manages to get past Tipsy into turn 2. And we have a battle going on for 5th.
Sector 3. Interesting.
Don't think it's any of the front runners. I'm looking at the gaps.
Yeah, I didn't figure it out before it was gone either.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars circulating who are having issues controlling their car at the moment, many laps down, so didn't see exactly where Nick making a mistake in the last couple of corners, just running wide, and he's lost touch now with Danico. So Nick struggling with the conditions a lot. This race is very strung out at the moment, lots of big gaps between drivers. It's very interesting to see.
Unfortunately, yes. The question is, who's going to come out on top in the tire game and the rain? Sorry.
Yeah, it's, I mean, there's still 14 laps, still a long race to go. Still a long time to go, and we see lots of cars struggling now in the rain. Triton running wide in the hairpin, that will have cost him some time. And it looks like the grip is falling away. Maybe more quickly. Let's ride on board with Nick here and just see how early he's having to brake for these corners and how much understeer he's getting. Not too bad so far. But you can see, and we'll see what the lap time is when he comes through to complete the lap as well. He's only lost 7/10 on his best lap. So at the moment, it's not too bad. We've got drivers making mistakes out there, but nothing too major. As Bants pits, Triton also pits. So Bants, and yeah, these guys really struggling on tyres because I wonder what tyres they're going to put on. Bants looks like he's going to put the softs on, which is interesting. Triton also going to put the softs on, is he? He does. So they can get to the end of the race if they need to on those. As we don't know yet exactly how bad this weather is going to get and how quickly it's going to get bad. Jeremy with 3 more seconds. He has 6 now. Oh, Danico and Nick coming up to lap Gusticles, who needs to move his Toro Rosso out of the way of the pair of them. He does, out of the hairpin. Nick now up the inside into the Mercedes corner. Manages to get it stopped. Very nicely done. Danico with the... Oh, a little bit of... little bit of a wheel bang between the two of them there. Nick getting his elbows out just a little bit. As, was there... I thought for a second there was contact between Gusticles and Danico.
Camera angle was interesting for me at least.
Atrocity pits from the lead. He's put softs on as well.
Softs? So I think it's going to stay dry.
Well, we don't know. Maybe just an insurance policy. For Atrocity, it makes sense, I think, to be conservative. He doesn't need to take risks. The only way he loses this race is if he puts ultra softs on and the rain stays very light.
Or if King Buzzo is able to drag the tires long enough to get the rain.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he did. We saw him go... Was it 6 laps on the ultra soft tyres at the start of the race? Maybe that was a smart move. Maybe it was worth losing a little bit of lap time to do that, as Kirst unfortunately brings his...
Oh no!
His unfortunate race to an end. He did not have a good time in this one.
Especially when I go on board with like more metallic looking cars like the Toro Rosso, you can just see the raindrops being everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Jesse up the inside of Hugo's for P8 on track.
Hugo's going to rain.
Trying to do... Oops. Oh, Hugo's struggling so much there. Thought he lost the rear of the car for a second there, but managed to catch it. So... King Buzzo still on 17 lap old soft tyres, and I don't think we're really getting anywhere near the point where intermediates are going to be good. Bants gets himself 3 seconds.
I think it might be a situation where the last 3 or 4 laps are going to be maybe intermediates, but before not, because I think they would have known about the rain if it was heavy early enough in the forecast. Yep. But apparently they didn't, so...
Yep, I suspect so too. So Ocean Chief and Veld are going to be really struggling to get to the end on those ultra softs, I think. TipsyBob comes into the pit lane. What tyre is he going to put on? He is almost a lap down. He will be a lap down after his pit stop. He is putting softs on as well. So Bants now reeling Jeremy in. He's got Veldmenica behind him. Is a lapped car. He's in 14th position. And he's got Gusticles ahead of him. And the Toro Rosso in 13th. So Gusticles needs to move out of the way. We've got a lead lap car behind him. Danico getting himself 3 seconds. He's in 7th position at the moment. Augusticles does move out of the way. Nice and safely. He might lose the position though to Velmenica, who's on ultra soft tyres. And he does, in fact, into turn 2. So we're just waiting to see exactly what the tyre situation is going to be in this one. We've got a number of drivers who are out there at the moment on tyres that they're not going to be able to finish with. Most importantly, King Buzzo, who has almost been caught by Atrocity.
Yeah.
5 seconds is the gap. King Buzzo staying out another lap on those soft tyres. So 19 laps now on those softs. This is the 20th lap that they are going to do.
I don't know if he's maybe throwing it away right now, like the P2, because maybe even Nick will get in his range. That's possible.
Yeah. Well, if he gets a puncture, then yeah, he's in all sorts of trouble, depending on where he gets it.
Sector 1. I don't think... Okay, probably someone running right. Oh, it's Tipsy. Yeah, Tipsy just went off in turn 1.
Oh dear. So Tipsy...
He's running down in P12, unfortunately, anyway. So, oh, and he's lost all of his front wing.
Oh, yeah,
Nothing
he has,
left.
yeah. So Tipsy's going to have to limp back to the pit lane, unfortunately for him. Might be that now is the time he decides to gamble on intermediates. Bants has got Veldmenica still behind him. I think wants to overtake, but Bants is more interested in overtaking Jeremy for 4th position. Down the inside he goes. Runs wide though, gets it all wrong on the exit of that corner, gives the position right back, I think. Yep, Jeremy's going to take that position right back, so Bants is going to have to wait another lap maybe to get that position. He's on much better tyres than Jeremy. 3 more seconds for Atrocity. That may not matter. I don't know though.
I doubt it will.
Buzzo going out for another lap, by the way. 21 now for King Buzzo. He's trying his hardest to get these softs to the end.
So the problem right now for King Buzzo is he's 28 seconds ahead of Nick. A pit stop takes around 20 seconds, and he's got 6 seconds of penalties that Nick doesn't. He's still pulling away though. Maybe his tires will fall off the cliff enough, and I guess they will, that he might actually lose Nick here.
Well, I think the issue for him is that he might get a puncture. I think that's the danger at the moment. And oh, he's so slow. He's having to be so careful. Unless that's just lag, it might just be lag.
I mean, he was certainly
and
lagging
he's
for
struggling
me, but that doesn't
a lot in that Force India. Atrocity now. You can see him in the background there, right on the back of him. So he's going to be passed very soon. Puts up
maybe even a 2. Oh.
Yeah, there was some lag. He goes with a penalty. Yeah, Buzzo is lagging a lot for me.
Okay. Yeah, for me as well, but I thought that's me. And every time I see lag, I just immediately stop talking, which is part of the reason I'm so silent today. Because I'm... Like, every time I get lag, I just assume you can't properly hear me anyway, so... Yeah,
that's unfortunate. Bants has passed Jeremy for 4th, and Jeremy now, I think, might have to let the Force India behind him past. Jeremy struggling on those old tyres. Atrocity is going to take the lead of this race, as we see TipsyBob having another moment in the background there. He's still missing a front wing.
King Buzzo lagged back ahead for me.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
They just make contact for me, but I doubt they actually
did.
I
don't think so. I think something weird is happening with King Buzzo. He's behind Atrocity, that is for sure. So Atrocity at the moment looking like there is no danger to him winning this race. As Bants now has his eye on Nick for 3rd place. TipsyBob does retire, unfortunately for him, so bad luck for Tipsy. But the other McLaren of Bants is now in a podium position, side by side. A little bit of wheel banging between the two of them. Side by side into the hairpin. Bants again running very wide and almost losing the back end. Nick will take the position once more. And Jeremy's still there in the background as well.
Tipsy out, and Ocean Chief pit for another set of Ultra Softs. So
Yep.
he ran into the troubles you predicted.
Yep. Well, he can at least get to the end of the race on those ultra softs. And King Buzzo pits. Which tyre is King Buzzo going on? He's got his 5-second penalty as well, which he's just served. And he's going on to ultra soft, so not wet enough yet for mediums. So King Buzzo, assuming he did get released from the pit, and yeah, he did. And I'd forgotten about the 5-second penalty, and the 5-second penalty puts him in play with these guys, although of course he'll be on much better tyres than these guys.
I actually forgot it as well. I thought he had pitted, but
Nope,
he hadn't.
He had not. So he's on the ultras. Atrocity now has a 30-second lead in this race, and the battle for third. And this is a real battle here between Nick, Bants, and Jeremy. Nick's still ahead for the time being. There are 6 laps to go.
And Veldmanicke, of course.
Yeah, Veldmanicke as well, who's, I mean, fair enough, wants to try and overtake. Jeremy defending from him.
He should probably... Yeah. He has got to... He has to hope that the top guys will catch effective, so...
Well, we know what happened the last time a Force India tried to unmap
until
himself.
that happens, yeah,
From someone from the Low Countries.
Oh, Denico had a spin.
Oh! Yeah, we didn't see that. So Jesse gets promoted up to 7th, although I think with the penalties that he had, he might get demoted again.
Probably.
Meanwhile, there are 5 laps to go. So it's been a long race, this one. Gusticles with another penalty. But this battle for third, as they come over the line, they will have 5 to go. That's struggling on those soft tyres. Nick doesn't seem to be struggling quite so much on those mediums, although he did just get 3 seconds for running wide in turn 1.
Yugosov. So effective passes it to P9.
Yeah.
And Ocean and Veldmanicke are actually fighting for P11 while Jeremy holds them up, kind of holds them up, and King Buzzo!
Oh no, King Buzzo on the ultras has spun on the exit.
And he retires!
Oh, what a disaster for King Buzzo. We didn't see what happened there. He was running all by himself. But King Buzzo in the Force India had such a good race and then threw it all away. We didn't see how. Maybe the lag had something to do with it. I don't know. But in any case, that means that this battle here on track, as Atrocity is going to win this race by a long way. This battle, yeah, is for 2nd place right now between Nick and Bants.
Catches a bit of dirt there on the outside. Will he be able to hold on to this? Overtaking is not too hard in Hockenheim, to be completely honest.
Yeah, but Nick at the moment seems to be driving much more smoothly than Bants. You see Bants have a lot of sideways moments in that McLaren. He does seem to be struggling to make his way past as they tiptoe their way through turn 1. And it also means King Buzzo's retirement means that the battle, the lap down battle between Veldmanicke and Ocean Chief is now for a point. Which means that Ocean, for the 2nd time in 2 days, is going to be fighting for a point in the last few laps.
Down Parabolica, he moves to the inside. Ocean Chief takes P10 for now.
Down the inside, does manage to get that move done. They're both on ultras. Veldmanicke, though, on very old ultras. Yeah. So Veld is on 7-lap-old ultras. He's going to really struggle to get those to the end. So he might have to pit again.
Oh,
as Gusticles retires, unfortunately.
Yeah, honestly, if you're in the top 10 places and the race is about to end and Ocean Chief is in P11, then I mean you've got to be aware someone is dying there, just statistically speaking.
He always gets his point, does Ocean Chief. He's what's the gap between him and Hugo's? The gap is 12 seconds. Oh no, 35 seconds. Never mind. So he's not getting Hugo's.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
Yellow's in the last corner. Who is that? That's Gusticles, stopped in the middle of the track. So that was where he died.
Ouch.
And they had to avoid him. 3 laps to go. we know who the winner is going to be, barring something incredible happening. Triton and Jesse both getting themselves penalties. They're running 5th and 6th.
Pretty close together. Jesse is having a
an
good
excellent
run
race.
today.
Yeah, absolutely. Bants though, Nick defending on the inside. Might have been a screen freeze there from Bants. Didn't exactly see. Nick parks it on the apex, as he's perfectly entitled to do. And Bants once again has to wait another lap.
The penalty difference between Triton and Jesse is only 3 seconds, so Triton will probably keep this position.
Yeah, what's Danico's penalty situation?
Danico, oh, he's actually close.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a lot better. He's got 2. So wait, 2 against 4 and 5. So 9 seconds between Triton and Danico. So Danico looks like he's about to take P5 then.
Yep, might be a top 5 for Danico, which would be a great result for him. Doesn't look like we're going to see intermediate tyres here, folks. Looks like the weather has bamboozled everyone once again.
Oh boy. Bamboozled. What?
Easy for me to say. As the top 2 go through turn 1. We're on the penultimate lap of this race. Triton is looking interested in taking P4 from Jeremy. I don't think that's a real battle, though. In fact, I'm not sure this battle for second is a real battle either. I think Bants has some penalties, and I don't think... Oh, maybe Nick does. Maybe Nick does. Not exactly sure. As the battle rages on for 10th place between Ocean and Veld.
It's 1 penalty for both.
Oh.
In the top. Yeah.
So it's
in
a
this
real
battle.
battle.
Both have won. Yeah, it is. But it's only 1 lap. Is Atrocity across the line? Yes, he is. So they've got 1 lap and a half on.
Yep, absolutely right. So Bants has a little bit of time to get it done, but the longer the time passes, the more time that passes, the worse it's going to be for him on those soft tyres compared to Nick's mediums. But he is very close now, going through the last couple of corners. He almost ran into the back of Nick there.
Yeah.
But now, as they come through to start, what is the last lap then? Atrocity is well on to his last lap.
Disconnect. Yeah.
As,
and he doesn't really... Maybe he wants to do it with DRS in Parabolica.
I would have thought so. Yeah, he knows exactly what to do. He's going to wait behind. Is the Ghost of Wimpy going... The Ghost of Wimpy is going to give Nick DRS here.
That's... Oh,
which
wow.
is very unfortunate for Bants and very fortunate for Nick. The slipstream might be enough anyway.
No, it is not.
Nope.
The Ghost of Wimpy, but Nick, oh my god.
Oh, and Bants almost spins on the exit of the corner as well. He just managed to save it, but...
oh, wow.
Meanwhile, 10 seconds ago, Atrocity won the race, as we knew he was going to. So good stuff from Atrocity. There's a battle for P5 on track right now. Jeremy and Triton.
Oh, wow.
The Mercedes corner, they were side by side. Yeah. But yeah, Jeremy is, of course, going to get that position. Who's that off track? That's Velmenica, who's got a puncture, I'm sure. 10-lap-old ultra-soft tyres. Oh, no, he doesn't actually have a puncture. He just spun on the old tyres.
Only 2 penalties for Jeremy, by the way. So he will take P4, I'm sure.
Yep. So Nick finishes second. Bants finishes third. That was a very good defensive drive from Nick, aided and abetted by Wimpy. And Triton crosses the line. Oh, he had a 5-second penalty as well for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh.
And
didn't know that.
Don't know if Jesse jumped him in the end there as well. The scoreboard didn't quite seem to be sure, but in any case, Jeremy certainly finishes 4th in that Sauber. So a very good result for Sauber. And a very good result for Atrocity, who won this race by a long way to stopping on the ultra soft tyre to begin with.
Opponent was King Basso, and he apparently committed neck rob or something, I don't know.
Yep, unfortunate for King
Basso. He could have
Buzzo.
carried on, I'm sure. But he didn't.
Yeah, I think he would have probably got good points. I don't know how damaged he was. But in any case, yeah, Jeremy finishing 4th. Danico did jump both of them, both Haas's, to finish 5th. And then Jesse and Triton 6th and 7th.
the chat slash LP proposes that we're again going to interview Yugos because he did an 18 to P9. It was a great achievement.
Yeah.
And that we're going to do that, but I mean, technically,
I don't know about that.
could.
Yeah, who can we get for an interview? Who wants to do an interview?
Do we need one? I think. Hey, Bilosh, come over. Nah, I don't think we need an interview, to be completely honest.
Okay, well, we'll see if anyone volunteers, but otherwise, yeah, we'll just wrap up the broadcast. We have a driver of the day to give out. Noel says driver of the day, me. Not quite. Sorry, Noel. Maybe next time. So
we are not obliged to give everyone driver of the day. We can just say we're the best Assetto Corsa drivers and get off.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were the drivers of the day yesterday in the Assetto Corsa race, I'm pretty sure. That's how it works. Who should we give this to? Because there are a number of pretty good performances out there today. Jeremy had a very good race.
I think Atrocity just because of the 40.
Atrocity won by such a large amount, didn't he? 2 stopped. The strategy that nobody expected to be good. He made it work. And yeah, I think it has to be Atrocity. Sorry, Jeremy. Maybe next time.
I lucked out. Just now.
Atrocity, race winner and driver of the day. And that is your 2SRL race and the broadcast for today. It's been a lot of fun this weekend. There's been a lot of broadcasting, a lot of racing. We've enjoyed it though.
My final thoughts, you were certainly going to ask me anyways, were I think we've gotten a new challenger now because we've been such pricks about this Assetto Corsa thing now. And now I've even convinced you to not give Jeremy driver of the day. So I think it's like if you ever watched an anime, then you know if you're going to insult the hero over and over again, he suddenly gets strength out of nowhere. So I think we should prepare to get clapped.
Yeah, 5 claps, says Jeremy Peters.
Great. Who joined? It's probably it's Ocean. Good day.
Ocean, how's it going?
Okay, I'm happy. Got a point somehow.
Yeah, how was your race? It looked like it was quite eventful.
Yeah, I mean the first thing that happened to me was, I don't know how it was showing up in your broadcast, but Jack, he had an X above his name and he just kept appearing in front of me even though I passed him.
Yep, desync.
Oh, no.
But his car was solid, so
yeah.
Oh no.
That's rough.
It caused me front wing damage, and then Gustigles. I don't know what like, I don't want to say too much, but a bit just after a race. But I mean, I think several drivers found it a bit difficult to.
Yeah, there were a few drivers. There were a few drivers who mentioned about Gusticles in this race, unfortunately. So yeah, maybe the FIA panel needs to have a word with him. Don't know.
Yeah, just don't let me at him.
But yeah, you got your customary point though. I mean, it wouldn't be a 2SRL or an SLR league race if you didn't get a point. So,
yeah, it's just I already said it on stream. Like if you're in P11 and it's like 3 laps to go, you can just prepare for 1 out of the top 10 to magically explode.
Yes, that's what I live for. That point.
Yeah, good stuff.
It's been a long time coming though. I haven't scored a point in a long time in any league. Just the competition is so tough. It seems like I've improved, but everybody else has also improved, unfortunately. So if everybody else could just take a year off or something, let me just catch up and get a bit of a head start.
Yeah, I think that's the thing we always see in these leagues is just that the competition gets to such a point. And it's fantastic in SLR because we have several drivers at the front, all of whom could win the race at any point. But yeah, really tough competition. Some of these guys are very talented. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys are just grinding the game, or else they're just some kind of generational talents about it. Whereas old boy here has to put in like 50 hours a week just to get like a point. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I'm just here to race, have fun. It's just frustrating whenever you've got like I mean, you saw whenever I qualified, I was watching because I qualified in ultras, and I was watching my time go down the ranks, and please come on, go down to 11th, please, please, that'll be brilliant. But I think on the first lap I picked up damage from Jack. I couldn't work out. He's not driving, but why is his car solid? Was he actually driving in the race like a
yeah. So what happens there is that for whatever reason, the connection between the two drivers doesn't work properly. So everyone else can see both drivers, but they can't see each other. Instead, what they see is the other driver's car driving around with an AI slowly, but it's a solid car, so you can't just pass through it. It happened to me. The most annoying one was the 2SRL League race last season at Monaco, where it happened to me with Anonymous's car. So every 10 laps or so, I had to pass an AI car around Monaco.
It's so confusing. Annoying. And AI are not good at getting out of the way, and even if you go to pass them, they seem to just make these random moves on you.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's any consolation, Nick will have seen your car doing the same thing, and he will have had to pass it.
Yeah. So, hopefully that it's sorted for the next version of this game. But I want to say a shout out just before I go. Shout out to Tipsy's dad, who's been watching the stream apparently. So
fantastic! Yeah, welcome Tipsy's dad. And
I've actually raced against him in a kart. That guy is faster than Tipsy.
He's faster than Tipsy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But somehow I don't know how, but Tipsy's actually older than his dad. So I don't know.
Yeah, Tipsy's really, really old. We know that he's much older than me. It's a huge gap in age between me and Tipsy. It's actually one day.
I have to watch what I say though, because he lives quite close to me, so he could be on his way over to my house now to give me a slap.
It's okay. He's slow, so he won't get there. He won't get this.
He'll be here in a week. Yeah, it's only 10 miles away.
All right. Well, I think that's probably going to do our broadcast. Thanks for talking to us, Ocean. It's good to get your perspective on that race.
No worries, guys. All the best.
Yep. Cheers. And we've had Timo's final thoughts. So yeah, I don't have any final thoughts. Oh, Bants! Good grief! I want to get back to Slay the Spire. Come on now.
Sorry, I just wanted to know Timo's final thoughts. I didn't know you said them. I missed them. I'm sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
His final thoughts were that we're going to get clapped by Jeremy in Barcelona, in the Assetto Corsa race. But yeah, how was your race? I mean, you finished third as a podium. How was your race?
AIDS is to put it mildly.
Oh dear.
Nick had a decent Ocean Chief.
Yep.
Down multiple times in the race.
Yep. We had that from Ocean Chief's perspective.
Frame rate status the entire race through. So I almost vomited.
Oh dear.
Just trying to get through the race because it was incredibly, it was just all over the place. It was just freezing and then, it was quite a mess.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how annoyed were you that Wimpy's Ghost gave Nick DRS on the last lap?
Yeah, but at the same time, you need to consider that Nick would have been quite a bit ahead if it wasn't for Ocean Chief's decent car. So
yeah, that's true.
That was really fucking annoying, but at the same time, that's only fair that he got second.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we didn't know about the desync at the time, but it's really annoying when it happens. But we saw
Interesting
Wimpy.
Conditions, no?
They were fun, yeah. It happens quite a lot in F1 2018, doesn't it? It's just enough rain at the end of the race, but not quite enough to go onto inters.
I mean, it was raining a good 10 laps, but 15 laps before. It started midway through the race.
Yeah.
This was the weirdest race I've ever had in this game when it came to weather.
Yeah, it looked really weird. And we had and it was interesting that most of the cars that finished at the front were the two stoppers. Started on the ultra soft tires, including you.
Yeah.
Did you mean to start on the ultra softs, or did you put in?
No, not at all. Actually, I did a low ERS, low fuel lap on the ultras, and I even got held up by Nick, who spun in front of me, and I set a 12 or something, which is a really slow lap.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't get it with the softs. I was just a half a tenth off or something like that, but not enough.
Yeah, it's a lot slower. The softs are a lot slower than the ultras. It's more than a second.
I did not know that at the time.
Turns out.
So, that's that.
Oh well, thanks for joining us. I'm gonna once again attempt to wrap up the broadcast unless anyone else wants to jump into our channel. Uninvited. No, you're invited. But,
Hello, Hugos. No, I'm joking. All right, we can wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next week for all of the usual festivities with SLR and 2SRL. See you next time.